Yay, welcome to Sound Science. Today it's going to be a bunch of old farts talking about the golden oldies. And when I say that, bro, before we started recording, I was talking about how old you start to feel when you're like looking up all these old date ranges and like these albums that are from the 90s and in the car listening to the radio with your parents in like 1990 or whatever. Uh, if they're listening to the golden oldies, it's like late 50s, early 60s. That's the same gap as we're talking about right now in 2025. If we talk about an album from like 1994, it's basically the same gap as you listen to your parents listening to like doo wop with poodle skirts.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Sound Science.
What's going on, everybody?
And we got a special guest today, Katillist Jones from the White Rabbit podcast, longtime friend. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. This is my first time. I don't know anything about this show, and I apologize to you guys. It's just so hard to keep up with what all our friends are doing. So I'm going to be like learning this as we go. So if I don't know your format, don't yell at me.
Oh, no, we will yell at you because it's part of the format.
We're yelling at you, Katillist. No, dude, this is really just to hang out. Get people on who have a taste in music or even a background as a musician or, even growing up in the music scene. We get them in here just to talk about their favorite artists or favorite albums and, express their love for music. Cause I mean, it's been a part of my life as well as Thomas's. So, and we know you as well.
So. Yeah. I mean, Catalyst, you were like a rapper for a minute, right?
Yeah, well, I was on stage as a rapper, but I basically did everything all around as a musician. So when I was opening up for what I like to say my washed up rapper days, when I was opening up for people like Afro Man and like the Loonies and basically everybody that almost came out of the Bay Area as a big name person, I was touring with. But a lot of shit behind the scenes, man. Like I really found like and fell in love with the production aspect of everything. But yeah, I mean, from singing and playing drums in punk bands to rapping, I've touched almost on everything.
Okay. Did you ever open? I got some like underground ones from the Bay. I think they're from the Bay, like Zion Eye, Planet Asia, Declaim. Any of those ones?
You ever listen to Mac Dre?
Yeah, of course I listen to Mac Dre. Like that whole hyphy movement when that was going around was during the time that I was really, I wouldn't say blowing up, but that was the time I was most productive. And Sony,
in your prime.
And Sony had offered me a developmental deal during that time, which I ultimately turned down because I found out it was a scam. Thank God I had people around me that were protecting me from that bullshit. But yeah, man, I had a manager and I even got a PR lady, even though I didn't need her. But yeah, that was fun.
What was your rapper name?
A Katillist.
Okay, so you've just been rolling with it ever since.
I love it.
Yeah, somebody had given me this name when I was very, very young, and I've kept it from the entire time.
Okay, I mean, fun fact too, the name of this show, Sound Science, is based on my first music group, which was the Sound Scientists. And if you go back and watch old Adult Swim bumps from the early 2000s, like 2002 to 2008 or so, you'd see a whole bunch of little bumps between the Adult Swim that say Sound Scientists on it. That's where this name came from.
I cannot believe that was you, because I remember being in my bed and watching Adult Swim and seeing those, hearing those. I remember taking a shower, getting out the shower, and having Adult Swim on every night.
It was dope, man. They basically
specifically. So
well, they had a commercial or they put out something. I can't remember where I found it, but it was like, "Hey, are you an independent artist? Submit your music to us." And they did like an open call, and I went and I found like the top, bro. It took so long to figure out like what are my top 15 tracks out of everything I've ever made, and put those on a CD and sent them in, and they pretty much used every single one of them, and they were putting us up next to like Flying Lotus. And then 10 years later, Flying Lotus is doing like Tron soundtracks and stuff. And yeah, I'm working at Disney like an idiot.
It was still fun though. Were you going through CD Baby? There was a bunch of different things I was going through.
Bro, we were going through CD Baby. I was one of the first rap artists to upload to mp3.com before it got like sold and changed hands a million times to CNET. And bro, I have screenshots somewhere where sound scientists are beating out like Gucci Mane with, you know, like more hits just because no one was promoting their music online at this time. I mean, this is late 90s, very, very early 2000s. So yeah, I mean, it was a whole scene, man. It was a whole scene.
That's fucking dope. Yeah. The most exposure that I almost got with a song that would have gotten out where I would have been completely faceless on it, and kind of like what you're talking about with the Adult Swim is like, I did that, but nobody would fucking know, is Chuck Liddell. I was doing a walkout song for him, but just so happened that his last fight, he was like, I'm going to retire if I don't win this fight. And the song was already fucking made, but he didn't use it that night to walk out. And so it never got fucking used. But yeah, my drumming teacher, the guy that taught me how to do drums, is who hooked me up with that, because he also was a wrestling and football coach who taught Jake Shields, which is like a in-town rivalry of mine, which is crazy. We've never done a show together, but
interesting. You know a lot of the same people.
Yeah, we know a lot of, I mean, this guy that I'm talking about was a mentor of mine, and he was also a mentor of Jake Shields. But I played for Bret Hart, and Jake Shields played for Calaveras, and we were rival schools, even though it was like the same little 20-minute area. You guys know, I'm sure you have your own as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Probably not as many.
Well, I'll explain the format to you a little bit here. So we start out on YouTube where it's nice and safe and friendly, but ultimately everyone's gonna have to move to the Rumble stream. And I think we got the link in the description for the Rumble stream. And once we get over there, we're just gonna be listening to a couple tracks off of 5 albums that you picked, and we're just gonna listen to part of the song and then just talk about why you picked it. And that's pretty much the flow of the show, man. You don't got to worry about who's running the world or which assassination attempts were real or not. Like none of that. We could just talk about
you want to bring that in
for a while. You can bring it up if you want. Just wait until we get to Rumble in order to do it. But ultimately, man, we're talking about music. Like what was going on in your head like while this was popular?
Yeah, I would love to. That's like a trip down memory lane, because that was before I was fully awake and knew who ran the world and knew which assassination attempts were and weren't real.
All right, careful. Maybe this is a good time. And we'll just start transitioning people over there right now. So go and look in the description for the Rumble link so we can get on with this and listen to some copyrighted music for review purposes. See you guys.
This is intermission. YouTube's got us under suspicion. What's the secret? Oh, what's the plan? You'll find it on Rumble with Paranoid American. Oh, they're shutting us down. But we're still around. Hop on Rumble, take a stand. Shoot-bop, Paranoid American. Paranoid American. Shoot-bop, who-bop, the tea. Shoot-bop, the kind of truth they don't